Today, we continue to remember more celebrities whose lives were suddenly and painfully taken by stroke. These were beloved stars who gave us laughter, comfort, music, and moments we still hold close to our hearts. Some had been carrying silent health struggles, while others were taken in unexpected moments that left the world shocked and grieving. Their journeys were inspiring, their impact unforgettable. Let's remember them together. Debbie Reynolds, the legendary American actress and singer who will forever be remembered for her bright, joyful, and iconic performance as Kathy Selden in the timeless classic Singin' in the Rain, left the world in one of the most heartbreaking and sudden ways when she passed away on December 28, 2016, after suffering a severe hemorrhagic stroke, a sudden bleed inside the brain that struck her only one day after the death of her beloved daughter, Carrie Fisher. On that painful afternoon, Debbie was at her son Todd's home in Beverly Hills, trying to plan Carrie's funeral through deep shock and grief when she suddenly felt unwell, her speech becoming weak and her balance slipping away. An ambulance rushed her to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles, but the bleeding in her brain was so rapid and overwhelming that doctors could not reverse the damage. Within hours, at 84 years old, she was gone, leaving the world stunned as a mother's love, heartbreak, grief, and fate intertwined in a way that remains one of the most emotional losses in Hollywood history. Born on April 1, 1932, in El Paso, Texas, Debbie rose from a childhood shaped by poverty, strict discipline, and simple living, discovering her talent by accident when she won the Miss Burbank contest at just 16. That moment lifted her from an ordinary life into the dream world of Hollywood. Soon she was signed by Warner Bros., then MGM, where she transformed from a shy, tomboyish girl into one of the most glowing stars of the 1950s and 1960s. Her breakout in Singin' in the Rain made her a worldwide sensation, and she followed it with a string of hits: Tammy and the Bachelor and the chart-topping song Tammy, The Affairs of Dobby Gillis, Susan Slept Here, The Catered Affair, and Bundle of Joy. She earned an Oscar nomination for her powerful role in The Unsinkable Molly Brown, proving she was not just a musical star, but a deeply gifted actress. She later won new generations of fans with roles in Mother, In and Out, the Halloween Town films, and her Emmy-nominated appearances in Will and Grace. Beyond acting, Debbie was a singer, a dancer, a Broadway performer, a businesswoman, a humanitarian, a collector of Hollywood history, and one of the few artists whose career truly spanned nearly 70 years. She fought through financial struggles, heartbreak, broken marriages, and public scandals, but she always bounced back with the same warmth, strength, and humor that made everyone love her. Even toward the end of her life, she continued receiving honors like the Agelight Achievement Award and the Jean Hershel's Humanitarian Award, celebrating not just her talent, but her enormous heart. John Singleton, the legendary American director and screenwriter who will always be remembered for his groundbreaking, culture-shifting masterpiece Boyz and the Hood, tragically passed away on April 28, 2019, after suffering a severe stroke that began with sudden leg weakness shortly after he returned from a trip. He was rushed to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, but the bleeding in his brain worsened in the days that followed, and even with intensive care, he could not recover, leaving the film world heartbroken at the loss of a visionary only 51. Born on January 6, 1968, in Los Angeles, Singleton grew up in South Central, where he absorbed the realities of street life and later turned them into powerful storytelling that felt authentic, urgent, and painfully real. His historic debut Boyz and the Hood not only made him the youngest and first African-American Best Director Oscar nominee, but it also reshaped Hollywood's understanding of Black stories and opened doors for countless artists. He continued to build his legacy with bold films like Poetic Justice, Higher Learning, Rosewood, Baby Boy, Four Brothers, and Too Fast, Too Furious, each reflecting his fearless voice and deep connection to the community. On television, he became just as influential, serving as co-creator and executive producer of FX's hit series Snowfall, where his role as writer, director, and world builder shaped the show's entire identity. He also directed powerful episodes of Empire, Rebel, and The People v. O.J. Simpson, American Crime Story, earning major industry recognition. He was known for discovering new talent, bringing rappers like Ice Cube, Tupac, Busta Rhymes, Tyrese Gibson, and Snoop Dogg into acting, and using cinema to challenge stereotypes and confront uncomfortable truths. Isaac Hayes, the legendary American singer-songwriter and composer who will always be remembered for his most iconic work, the Academy Award-winning theme from Shaft, tragically passed away on August 10, 2008, after suffering a sudden and fatal stroke at his home near Memphis. He was found collapsed beside a still-running treadmill, rushed to Baptist Memorial Hospital, but the stroke had caused severe internal damage that doctors could not reverse, bringing his remarkable life to an unexpected end just 10 days before his 66th birthday. Born in Covington, Tennessee, and raised by his grandparents after losing both parents early, Isaac carried the pain and poverty of his childhood into a musical voice that felt raw, real, and deeply human. He became one of the driving forces behind the Stax Records sound, writing classics like Soul Man, Hold On, I'm Comin', and When Something Is Wrong with My Baby. And as he stepped into the spotlight with groundbreaking albums like Hot Buttered Soul, Black Moses, and the Isaac Hayes Movement, he changed soul music forever with long emotional arrangements, rich orchestration, and that unforgettable deep voice. His Oscar-winning Shaft soundtrack became one of the most influential film scores in history, and beyond music he earned love on screen with memorable roles such as Gandalf Gandy Fitch in The Rockford Files, the Duke of New York in Escape from New York, and of course the warm, comedic voice of Chef in the hit series South Park, a character that introduced him to a whole new generation. Throughout his life he collected Grammys, a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction, a Songwriters Hall of Fame honor, and even became an honorary king in Ghana for his humanitarian efforts.